So this is different. There's a bit of a backstory to go along with this particular episode. This set is kind of a big one, and if I can actually open up the box, it'd be great. This set has a very, let's say, specific reason for not coming in its original box. And it's a doozy of a reason. Are you fucking kidding me? What the shit is this? Oh no. Holy fuck, this is damaged. Well, at least it's only the last page that was ripped. Place these over here. All the pieces, I guess, are here. Person was kind enough to go through to make sure that every piece was accounted for. I think that's everything. Supposedly, this is everything that's supposed to go along with Lord Garmadon's Fortress. You know what? I'm gonna have a voiceover of what's going on as I'm doing this shit, so you don't have to worry about it. The set that I have before you is set number 2505, Garmadon's Dark Fortress. Consisting of 518 pieces, originally selling January 2011, this set was sold for $69.99. I happened to buy this for $81 flat with tax, no shipping. The character list includes Kai, Nia, Bonsai, Chopov, Lord Garmadon, and Samukai. Okay, so that's separated out. One thing that you might notice right here in the dead center, this piece broke in my hands. I don't know how something that tiny could have like a stress break, but you might have seen me, it might go by too quickly, but I tried to put some of the main pieces that I think would fit, that are gonna go into here, and it still latches on a little bit, but after a while it will just like let go if it goes in the wrong angle. So, need be, I'll try my best and place that somewhere where it's efficient. I do not think I put these pieces in a good position. I should have been on the lookout for how I was gonna have this. Looking at all these pieces and trying to remember the character list that was involved in what I was saying before, this person supplied me with some more skeleton arms, some more skeleton legs, but also gave me another skeleton character in total, one that wasn't a part of this set. I don't know what that's about. I guess I just start building. And I should probably pour out those skeleton arms and legs because from what I can see, I don't think that there's enough already out. Goodbye, mysterious skeleton. Okay, so as it turns out, that is part of the set. Weird. Why include one of the skeletons in the bag but not the other? I don't know. I believe this is supposed to be Chopov. He's got like an angry face, and he's also the minor skeleton of Earth. Hopefully there's enough arms and legs in here. There's a bit of a special character coming into play. What I believe is Bonsai assembled. And now on to the ninja and his sister. Ninja of Fire, originally from the Ninja Ambush set. He gets the silver sword. I know that there's a specific word for the head dress piece that you're supposed to call it by for a ninja, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I think they say it in the show like maybe 1 or 2 times, but obviously not enough for me to remember it. And then Kai's sister, Nia, who has a double-sided face. One for regular position, and then on the other side it has a bandana, something wrapped around her mouth so she can't scream, and then her hair. One of the only characters in Ninjago to actually have a hairpiece until season 5 of building the ninja, I think, and then we get to probably. Well, not probably. This is the reason why this set is so expensive. So, here's why this set came in that box. And there's a story along with how Samukai is designed. Samukai is the first character to develop 4 arms. And Samukai is only available in playsets. He is not available in any single spinner set. He is only available in Garmadon's Dark Fortress, which we're assembling right now, and another set in the future, which I already have. Can I swap out one of these arms to attach to Samukai a little bit better? So Samukai is a very, I wouldn't say important, but exclusive. That's the word I'm looking for. Exclusive character, making any set that he's in immediately jump in price. And if you happen to have a new set, it makes the price of this triple, along with the other set that he is in. And that is new. Any pre-owned sets where you have everything, it roughly doubles the price. And then for this set, like you heard before, $81 for everything except the box. Kinda bummed about it, but what can you do? It's $81. But that being said, if you were listening very carefully, this set only has 518 pieces, and it was originally sold at $69.99. $70 for 518 pieces. Typically, LEGO sells their sets at a price threshold of 10 cents a piece. However, special pieces require a little bit of an increase in price. Samukai didn't really boost up the price all that much because of the other set that he's in. It roughly is the same. However, the other pieces, such as this white one right here, exploded the price, and that's why it's a little bit more than other sets. And then we move on to Lord Garmadon, and then we put Lord Garmadon's helmet on, and then a tiny little bone that goes on top of his helmet. Here you go, Lord Garmadon, or maybe just Garmadon at this time, because I think he becomes Lord Garmadon when he becomes like Samukai. I will not spoil how much of it, but he becomes like Samukai. Next, we start assembling a little... Oh, I won't spoil it. I kind of know what it is, simply because I had to unbuild it. So how you all feel about that increase in price? The original price being a little bit higher than most sets of this amount, and then me buying it for $86. Let me put in perspective of how much some of the other sets were. For the exact same thing, minus the instructions, but with the box, you could get this exact set for $134. So putting that in perspective, I kind of made out like a bandit. People out there are hungry for money. And when I say hungry for money, it's not even just a little bit hungry for money. It's very hungry for money. And I wish that I had separated these pieces a little bit in big and small sizes, just so I don't have to scrounge around for select pieces that could be anywhere or accidentally mixed in somewhere else because I was an idiot. Last time I built something, I have recorded one series that has already gone up on the channel. As you may know, not entirely sure of who watches my stuff, I recorded the Spinjitzu Dojo and then recorded a little mini series for a game and immediately got here. Stupid Siri, I had her charging and she did not want to shut up apparently. All she heard was the word series and thought that she was being summoned. Let me tell you, sometimes she's helpful, sometimes she's just fucking stupid. And the stupid part is probably 80% of the time. I use her very little, in fact. Oh wait, I just thought about it. I should move these characters out of the way. You guys have seen them quite enough. And you know what? Because this arm is getting annoying to deal with for Bonsai that I swapped away from Samukai, this is going to be a special skeleton, which I'm going to give him a broken arm. You know what? I'm going to give that to Bonsai because I'm pretty sure chop off needs to be in a specific spot. That's gotta be dark gray. If it's not, I'll eat a hat. They're dark gray. Thank God, because I did not want to eat a hat. Not even the correct phrase. I'll eat my hat. Just a hat. A random person's hat. Oh, wait, I don't need the piece extractor anymore. If I'm stupid, I will. If I'm If I do this correctly, I won't. But then I can move this here and get a better look. And maybe relax my back, because my back is aching because of the position that I have to sit in for this. Wait, how did this face toward me again? What? Need to slam on correctly. So it's even here and even with the back. Gotcha. Oh, but it lines up back here as well. I'm stupid. And I forgot to grab a piece. Piece that is up here somewhere. Ah, here we are. Oh, crap. Triangle. Pyramid thing. Not quite a pyramid, but this is a triangular prism. That's what it is. Even though that it's short in the rectangular, whatever. No one really cares about that. They're just here to see me build, right? How does this fit on? Oh, it really doesn't. It just sits on top? Oh, okay. So it requires a little bit of, like, being in the perfect position. Come on. There we go. So it's supposed to be like that. But what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to place Chopov standing up top on these two little pegs here. Make sure that he's all the way down. Place on the top of the coffin, grave site, something. Push down. The grave opens. Typically, it's supposed to launch off. And there he is. Now on to probably the thing that made this set take the most amount of money. Or make the most amount of money. Or lose the most amount of money. Who knows? It's all very specific in shape. Ah, shit. I need 2 more of you. Oh, where is the piece I need? Oh, where could it be? There it is. Supposed to go up? Yeah, these. Make sure that the holes are going up and not parallel to this structure. Okay, then we need some not so shurikens, and there we go. All right, front, back, they're both like they're basically the same thing right now. Now to go searching in the sea of black on a black table. At least for me, with the light shining down, I can at least see some of the definition of some of the pieces, but once it gets into the shadowed area, blends completely in. And I'm dealing with some tiny pieces right now. And let's go. Let's try and assemble this in a fashion that looks okay to the camera. Mic being in the way is probably the biggest issue right now. I really hope that thing doesn't need to... Okay, it does need to hold something. Great. We'll first test it out with this first one and see if it's okay to hold the piece in place. Seems to be doing his job well. But it is going on a little bit far. Maybe the weight of it on the outer rim is a bit much for it now. Nope, I'm not giving it the credit it deserves. Even with a broken leg, that warrior is still working. Did I mention I was stupid? Oh shit, I need a better view just to see all the pieces and highlights. There already is kind of a mount. Oh fuck, got a bit of a lazy eye. Just because the weight shifts so much, it needs to be there. Sometimes I wonder how I manage to do things while I'm thinking of how to do it right. And then the fang will hopefully go in and stay. Okay, pop out the damn eye. Ugh, so much work for just one tiny little broken piece. Maybe if I use this one, because this one seems to have like a better grip or something. Or I'm just trying to put lipstick on a pig and try and fix an issue that couldn't be fixed. Unfortunately, like in the Spinjitzu dojo, this piece is kind of specific in how it works. Okay, so this skull is going to be a bit of a hillbilly. I only have 1 tooth. I feel bad, but what can you do? Or a Klondike bar. I'm remembering how this is supposed to work. Like for the full set, there's no way that piece would have held together, so this spider's gonna have a hillbilly skull. And now we put on the things that made this thing so expensive. All 6 creepy crawly legs, even though spiders are supposed to have 8. How does that make you feel? Oh, have you trap everybody over there? Oh shit. And now we start working on the actual fortress part of it. And as I look over, I see that I have been recording for just over an hour and 15 minutes on that. Well, I did take a long time to separate those out. Give me some credit. Oh, we have to grab 2 of these and slam them together. Outer rims. And I swear that's like a game title. Outer rim. Outer rim. That's got to be something, because it's something in the back of my head that says that's the title. It might be a movie title. I know, like, the Space Titan movie. What is that? Pacific Rim. Yeah, that's Pacific Rim. Not to be confused with the Pacific Ocean. I think I build this part separately from this. Come out wherever you are. I'm not going to hurt you. In fact, I'm going to use you. You're going to be very helpful to me. I need you to enact my plan of building my dark fortress. Well, not really my dark fortress. Just somebody that I know. Oh, they were right there. I'm an idiot. I wonder if this is any decent to watch, because there's a bunch of mess here, and where you're supposed to focus is here. I've got that going. This takes up a big ass part of it. Oh, excuse me, I've got the hiccups. Okay, I need another one of these. And another one of these. Nuts. Sorry, I'm a child. Mysterious god of missing Lego pieces, bestow upon me where you put it. Apparently, there's quite a bit of dust on this. Make me sneeze. I'm getting my head down low enough. Oh. Ah, shit. Then it combines onto here with those 2 pieces that were hanging off before. Wow. Legos. God, I'm an idiot. And these point downward, connecting the 2 giant, well, technically 3, because this is one, and then this is another. So like I was saying before, since I've built a set, did one little tiny series that I thought was going to take a while, and then I looked back at the games that I needed to record. Lo and behold, it wasn't the game that I thought needed to come next, and it was much shorter, so I have nothing really to talk about with this set to make up time. I don't know if people enjoy me talking at all. If anything, people would probably prefer me to shut up more. And in doing so, me talking about it makes them even more angry and probably turn themselves away. With each piece, I grow stronger. With that weird looking thing in the sticker right there, we place it facing me. Like that. Looks good to me. For some odd reason, the dimensions for this one go pretty hand in hand. Like, it's easy to differentiate. Like, it's not really giving me any problems right now. Later, when there's more shit in the way, because I can't see, like, the front, it might be different. When building with Legos and you can't find where to put the next piece in the instructions, when in doubt, look back at the previous step and see what's changed. That's all I ever do when having an issue. You know what? Can I just talk about something real quick? I cannot believe, not that I'm like building these at my age, but I cannot believe that I'm building them at all. When I was younger, I tried to send in a letter saying, hey, is there any way that you could help this little child in need and bring it back? I kind of expected the response that I got, and it was from the CEO, and it was on this weird different parchment paper that was like almost like cloth based, but it was waterproof, which I found the most cool about like the whole letter thing, even responding to me saying, I'm sorry that we can't be of any help right now, but as it turns out, once the set has left the market, we can no longer bring them back. I thought that was going to happen because very rarely did I ever see sets that I wasn't really interested in, probably appealed to someone. Very rarely did I ever see them come back. Their real moneymaker is literally the Lego Star Wars sets. And those change as well. Getting a letter back from the CEO of Lego telling me no. To others that might seem sad, to me it was just like, hey, this guy's stuck and he can't really do anything except his job. And to me it felt good to even get a letter back even. Like, I was perfectly content. Wait, why? Okay, Just as I put more trust in myself, I take it away. The issue is with this type of set, since everything just builds on top of one another, you know, like Legos, if you make one mistake deep in it, you have to take everything apart to fix it. Oh, there's just a giant gap here, I guess. How are there more of you, but less of these? What? So confused. Oh my god, there's so many. Oh, wait, no, was that? No. Huh? Where do these go? Oh, higher up. Moving on up in the world. We're getting close to making a second story, y'all. I should really shut up. I gotta relax a bit because my back is just not in the proper shape it should be. You know, just in general, not even like with me and how I'm building right now. It's just not appropriate to look at. Maybe if I lower the mic a bit. But it's in the way more. Oh well, I'll live with it. You know what would be a good interaction with the community? If we all collectively came up with an idea of what to call the god that makes Lego pieces disappear. What is his or her name? And explain why their power exists. Because there's a reason in Greek and Roman mythology for everything. Quite literally. Okay, so it sits on this tiny little black peg right here. And it just is angled. Oh shit. No. How are you coming apart? What? Oh no. Where did you come from? Oh, that's the piece that I need to use next. I'm stupid. Okay. Gotta raise this mic. I wish I could lean back. But this is how far away the back of the chair is. Where my mic is. Probably with me pushing forward like that, you could actually hear like the what's it called? The Doppler effect of sound. Doppler effect's actually pretty cool in how it affects sounds, and not only just that, but like light and everything, and how it affects the speed of light as well, and time travel in theory. And that'd be like a whole can of worms that I could just like go into and talk about, but you really don't want me to talk about it because I could go on forever, and that kind of happened a lot when I was in physics class back in high school. My god, did my physics teacher love and hate me. Loved me because I loved asking questions, hated me because we could barely get on with the lesson sometimes. He also appreciated the way that I took notes and hated the way that I took notes. At the start of the year, I took down everything to make sure I wasn't missing anything. And then, at some point throughout the year, where does this piece go? I need to turn it toward me again so I can see. That might be good, who knows. And then at some point during the year, I just stopped taking notes. Well, not really stopped taking notes. I stopped taking as many notes. Instead of it being all 4 pages worth of notes, I maybe took 3. And then 3 started to turn into 2. And then 2 started to turn into 1. And then 1 started to turn into half a page. And then half a page started to turn into 2 sentences. And then 2 sentences just started to turn into words. And then those words just magically stopped appearing on my page. And then the inverse of what I did happened to the person who sat right next to me. One of my best friends in school. He barely took anything at the start, and then took literally everything by the end, and hated sitting next to me because what I would do during those lessons that I took 0 notes in was sit on top of the shared table desk that we had, because it was a physics class and also our chemistry class the year before. We needed access to gas lines and everything to use a Bunsen burner. I'm very into science, if you can't tell, and STEM and everything. Why do you ask that I don't go into something like that? I find it incredibly boring at the same time. I find it interesting. I just could not do it forever. Maybe for a hobby, looking into how things are made and but that also includes Legos and crap. I don't know why I'm still talking. Starting to get a little bit of a headache, and I'm not sure if it's just because I'm becoming oxygen deprived from me talking too much. Listen, because of the perspective on this, I am judging the best I can. It seems to flow in a very specific pattern that makes sense. But then there are some things where I'm just like, is that right? I wonder how many pieces in I am. Turn it toward me. Okay, so the piece is fitting now. When I was trying to put it on, there was like a little bit of a lip that was like pointed upward toward me. You guys couldn't see it, but it was just so annoying to look at that I knew something was happening, but I couldn't put my finger on it because I couldn't see it. Oh, there it is again, but why? I finished it. Just imagine like I just cut to the finished product. Again, I'm trying my best to get the proper angle to show you, and a good way for me to have fun while doing it as well. Like, this is actually like a good like exercise of the brain as well, trying to distinguish spatial awareness and everything while having a procedural building process be facing away from you 100% of the time. 100 being in quotes because I have to turn it away sometimes, or turn it toward me sometimes. And then stuff like this where like it just get in the way of building this stuff. I'm okay with admitting that not 100%. You know what would be really kind of cool? Is having someone from Lego just randomly look up like, hey, this old set that I used to work on, I wonder how it's doing. And then just Google it, see like old sale prices, and then just magically see this video pop up because like I uploaded it in the same week or something, and so it's getting a few search results right then and there. And then that person's just like, what the heck is this person doing it, building it now and recording it and posting it now? Is he stupid? That answer would be yes. I'm also trying to live out my childhood dream. Childhood being 2013, so 6 years ago. So when I was 15, not exactly childhood. I don't even want to know like what 15-year-olds are doing now, because the school that I went to, you could hear a lot of different results. Some of them not very good. Some of them involving you know what? I won't get into it because that might procure a lawsuit that I cannot handle. Little walkway for you. Enter. Hopefully you don't get ensnared in the trap. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure if that's right or not. Oh, I have to spin this toward you now. And then probably the best weapon known to man in PUBG, the frying pan, goes like this. And where does that go? Deep inside here, and I can't finagle my fingers around, so I'm gonna have to turn it toward me so I can get it situated. And then we take two little brown boxes and we put a leaning bone axe in each. That's just supposed to be for any skeletons that are on alert. Oh! And that's the end of book 1. Now on to the damaged book 2. Now we need more of these sticker plated pieces. Oh, my back. My back. Why does that sound familiar? I don't even know what that would be from. My asthma. Does anybody have any guess? That's what it's from. If you happen to know KYR Speedy or Sidearms or anybody of the crew, D20, Deluxe 4, Shadow Beats, you know any of those guys, they're Friday the 13th, I think that's the right game, with Speedy playing as Eric, not Eric. He was the only character that had asthma, which I actually have, which I thought it was funny the entire time that they were going along with it. I've got asthma and I'm allergic to basically everything on the face of this planet, including grass. So going outside is not exactly the most fun, which probably is why I liked Legos, because you could stay inside for a long ass time. Okay, I'm gonna turn the mic toward this direction so I can see the instructions a little bit better. And if anything, that might work out a little bit better because the voice that I can see is still detecting the same way. Even though that I'm like turned away, it's still at least detecting in a moderate case. So I'll do my best. One thing that I'm kind of afraid of is posting the very first one of these videos and seeing my traditional audience see me post one of these videos and everybody just unsubscribes. That'd probably be a very, very scary thing for me. There has to be at least one person that would enjoy it. Maybe I lose all my current people and I gain a whole bunch of others. Who knows? And then this rod goes on the opposite side, lines up from the very beginning, and push-pull sort of thing. But why? I mean, I know why, but I've kind of already built this in my head before, from the previous episode of me explaining that I used to look up the instructions and build them piece by piece without having them in front of me or the pieces to actually build them with, and I was definitely never going to take apart the ones that I already had just to try and have fun building other sets that I wouldn't even have the right pieces for. Long-winded way of saying I had imaginary Lego sets. I wonder if I continue to build at the same pace roughly whether I have a new set or an old set. Doesn't really matter to me if it's fast or slow. Where's the next piece? That one. That one. Doesn't really matter to me how fast or slow I build. Kinda does, because I have other people that I need to worry about making background noises. But that being said, I should be finished before anybody that could make a large amount of noise comes back. Beyond that, I pretty much build at a pace that I am comfortable with, I think. Or slowing down to try and find a piece that isn't possible. Okay, I need one of these now. One of these. Nuts, it took the piece with it. One of these specific sticker pieces. Beck, what is wrong all of a sudden? That was a really hard one that just came in. It's not like I have anything wrong with my back. It's just all of a sudden it's starting to get really, really sore. And maybe it's because I'm building all these Lego sets so close together. I remember when I used to try and build these in such a weird position. Like, I would sit on the floor with my legs crossed and then hunched over, building on top of it basically. And my god, that was awful to try and build with. Every set it hurt to build. At least with this, depending on how long it takes, this one included, is just sore. I built it the same way as this. How did I manage that? What? Okay. Boomer. Sorry. Oh, yeah, duh. Because after a certain point, everything can just be rotated. I didn't need to take it apart fully. I just needed to spin some pieces around. Okay, now I need a purple circle again. Not to be confused with a purple nurple, which is scary. And kids, if anybody ever asks you if you want one of those, run. It is not a soft drink. Need 2 sets of brown stairs, which these have always been my favorite pieces. Except for, the piece extractor. These are just cool to look at. I think it's funny how, even the tiniest of pieces, if I were to put on this one circle, which I need for this step, because the display for these are so big, it takes up the entire page for just 2 single steps. Before, you could have 5 little steps, and then they would all connect into one other thing. I'm not entirely sure, but I feel correct in saying that some of the bigger sets that once they reach past 2,000 pieces, they start to grayscale or lower the opacity of some of the instructions, and then all the new pieces are at full. That way it's a little bit easier to tell. And my very first Lego set, I should actually say this would be pretty cool to mention. My very first Lego set ever, except for Lego Duplo. Full expanded set was 2,000 pieces. I have no idea if it was even Lego itself or an off-brand thing that probably suffered a lawsuit. It was a giant battleship. 2,000 plus pieces, and none of the bags were marked numerically. And me being the idiot that I was, and I think I was maybe 8, and I tried to build it myself. My neighbors were gonna just sell it or maybe even just throw it away, and I didn't want that to happen because I've got this weird mentality of hey, somebody worked hard on this. Don't let things go to waste, especially food. Do not do that. There are people starving. Do not let food go to waste. Try and use as much as you can while cooking, and if you can't, at least you tried, right? If you didn't try to preserve food, you're doing it wrong. But going back to the original Lego set, I tried to put it together. I basically opened all of the bags, and I never sorted out them by color. And trying to build something that you only can find the pieces willy-nilly out of nowhere with very little instructions, my god, was that a setup for disaster. And because I was young, it's not like I was smart enough to build it in a designated area. No, I just built it in the middle of the living room. And after a while, I had to take it away and to try and pick it up. And I vividly remember picking it up, and I think I slipped, and all of what I had built, which wasn't a lot, but it was still at least a good, decent bit, just crashed on the floor. And yet, I didn't feel bad about it breaking, because I had struggled to even build as much as I did. That'd be another good topic to talk about in the comments. What was your very first Lego set that you've ever owned? You don't have to purchase it yourself. You don't have to build it. Maybe a family member built it behind your back or something, which never happened to me because I was the only person who was ever interested in them. What was the very first one you ever owned? And those Duplo ones, I have not a clue which ones I had as a kid. Like, as a young kid. Try my best to build the way I want to, yay. What the hell was that? Sometimes I surprise myself with the things I say. Like I said, maybe delirium is setting in. You know, so far this build isn't actually that hard to do in perspective. Might be cutting it a little close with family members showing up at home, but I don't really mind now because I'm in the later stages. Anybody worries about dogs barking? Your fault for hating me. Man, seeing this all come together is giving me like this weird feeling. Like, I know I've already built sets that I didn't previously own, but this specific set, like seeing it all come together is just giving me this weird giddy feeling. It's not really coming out a lot, but it's like I can feel myself like start to like bounce my leg a little bit. I don't know why. Also, I haven't eaten at all today, so that might also be it. Hold on, I gotta turn this toward me now, just so I know where to place these. La-da-dee-da-doo. Not that I hate you. Cup full of rosé. Don't know that song, I just know that line. Speaking of cup full of rosé, if you haven't seen it yet, a clip from this guy known as Junkie Janker, I want to shout him out real quick. I mean, it's not like he needs to be shout out. He's literally more famous than I am. Not only is he an actor, but he's a voice actor. He does the voice acting for a cartoon show known as on Cartoon Network known as Gumball. Well, that's the role he plays. The show is The Amazing World of Gumball, but semantics. Don't really care for them. Actually, I really should. Going back to the topic of Gumball, he recently streamed him reacting to not Nintendo Direct. Like, it's a Smash event. Like, I'd like to play it, but I don't. It seems fun, but I don't really have anybody to play with. His reaction to seeing the very first character, which was what? Sword Emblem, I think. I think that's what the game is called. Let's just say he's not very into anime, and yet he has to, in so many episodes, make so many references to anime shows, and yet he's not interested in it at all. And his first reaction is immediately pull up that song by Drake and just wallow in shame for liking the game. I have no problem with any of the characters. Like I said, I don't own it, so I don't know what it's like, but the more that people use them, who knows, maybe it'll be more fun. But then I know that people have issues with just more sword characters in general. Who knows? Maybe that character that you hate, you just randomly get when everybody selects random. When you're all playing together, and it just happens to be the character that you use, and you wreck everybody. And you become the best player for that specific character. Okay, time to turn it toward me again, just so I can get perspective and know that I'm not messing anything up. Oh, I don't know why I tried to do that. I'm so dumb. Hey, you know that giddy feeling that I had before? Gone. Now I'm just full of adrenaline. And the issue is that after my adrenaline releases, I get very itchy. I think I'm allergic to my own adrenaline, which is kind of bad, because if I need to ever get into a situation, if I ever get into a situation where I need a lot of adrenaline, who knows, maybe I just might swell up like a balloon while running away. That'd be really bad. I'd like to know if that's actually just like a common thing, if like somebody gets worked up if they just start itching. And as I look over, I have reached 2.5 hours of building. 2.5 hours for 518 pieces, but also unraveling a mess that was previous ownership. Man, this chain bit's annoying. It also hurts my OCD a little bit because I don't want one hanging too low compared to the other. That looks good. See those little chains down here? Yeah. Looks nice and decent, doesn't it? I just think it's funny that these skeletons launch missiles with skulls on them at the enemy, so you don't know if these are old soldiers or not. And it also gives you a warning. Hey, don't shoot this in your friend's eyes or your child's eyes or your siblings' eyes, as it can result in optical damage. And now we design probably the thing that is never seen in the show, is Garmadon's Chair. It's cool to look at, but like, there's no real purpose. You ever just sit and wonder why something is created? Kind of like the blobfish. Ever wonder why that thing was ever allowed to continue to live? But then again, put it back in like 2,000 plus depth water. It looks perfectly natural. I'm starting to get that giddy feeling again of like accomplishment. A relaxing chair to look at, kinda, maybe, who knows. Now to make it awful by putting legs on it. But now that I think about it, would legs on a chair be all that bad? Just walk you around. We could literally become what we fear most. Becoming the fat people in those floaty chairs in Wall-E. I mean, America's already slowly becoming that. Tiny little spider chair. Oh, but we're not done yet. Fire accents. This shit is literally fire. A dumb little joke would be making up your own game just so you have one character that literally poops hot coals. So it literally does shit. That shit is literally fire. Okay, and then I just pop you on top. Okay, that's all together. Now what? There's a few pieces left. What are those pieces for? What? This looks done. Okay, so it says I take the spider and I use this little red bulb that was on the spider and place it directly on top of this thing, so it just kind of dangles there. And then you just swat the little knob in the back. The spider falls. Be used as a trap. What? On closer inspection, it turns out that that is indeed the end. Let me just turn this back toward you, and yes, that's the end of the build. I don't know what these are about. I guess I'll just toss them aside. Not entirely sure why they exist. So everything's here minus one little fang on the spider, but that's because of damage. Either way, we'll set up grave over here. We'll have Lord Garmadon in his little floaty chair. Samukai is going to be standing right in the very front with his talking head, one of the only characters that can actually kind of talk. You move their head. Boneseye with his fractured arm is going to be up here, manning the guns. Nia is going to be in her cage back here where you can't really see her. Actually, let me put Samukai on the bridge somewhere. Oh shit. Kai has dodged Crackjaw's scare, and now the spider... That didn't work properly. You saw it before in what it actually does. That is Garmadon's Dark Fortress, and I have spent 2 hours and 50 minutes building this and separating it. I've got a bunch of extra pieces. I don't really know what else to say. Have a nice day.